Humanity has always been driven to create the perfect form, constantly pushing the boundaries of design and technology to achieve a seamless union of beauty and practicality. This one-of-a-kind field desk was created with the finest construction pine, hand-selected and placed by a master of his craft, featuring a recycled top that has a story of its own, a fusion of art and utility paired with the beauty of a bunning snag. Is everything you need and nothing you don't. Hey, so yeah, I had a bit of fun just then, but a bit of good faith because, as we all probably know, Teenage Engineering has released their field desk. So I sort of found out about this a couple of weeks ago through some photos and forums, and yes, now it's on their official website. You can come to this address and see what's going on. And yeah, all the cool kids are talking about on YouTube, so I thought I'd give my 2 cents, but I'm not much of a review man here, but as someone that likes synthesizers and builds his own desks, I thought it would be a really cool thing to have a bit of a discussion about. So when you come to the website, you definitely greet it with this nice little image here, and I really do enjoy the photo itself. It sort of encapsulates their brand and design, so it shows off what it is and very cleanly shot. I did sit here for a couple of minutes just looking at the shadows and seeing if it was rendered, so I do believe this is a photo. They went out there and set up all the tables, so photographer. I do like this one. If it is rendered, you got me. So moving on, the field desk itself. So a space truss constructed from recycled aluminium and assembled with double-sided Formica birch plywood. Field desk is our very own modular workspace. It's everything it needs to be and nothing it doesn't. So just reinforcing that minimalistic modular aspect for the workplace. So I think they're putting this more over a whole branch of different places, not just for synthesizer enthusiasts. They are moving into that more lifestyle company, so I could see more of this sort of stuff popping up. But what's really interested me about the table is that sort of aluminium extrusion, and I have looked a bit around at their photos and that just to sort of have a look, because I deal a lot with 3D printing, and I did bring a bit of a sample here. This is the aluminium extrusion I play with, and if you're ever around engineers or anyone that has 3D printers, this is like their engineer's Lego, and you can make some pretty impressive structures here. But how they've done their extrusion, they've changed it around, so it has a few different options. You do need to drill a bit into the normal extrusion. But yeah, they do have some nice photos here showing off the top, the sides, a few other bits and pieces, but I think we'll just move on from there. So our official workspace, our office is made up of people doing a variety of things, each with their own needs. So yeah, I can see this being used by a programmer with a desktop or someone that's working on parts and assembling things. I would like to see if their main office has used these to set up the whole workspace. One thing I did see in that cover photo that I haven't spotted elsewhere is this little compartment tray, and it does look like it just clips in on the rail system, so you could definitely have a chain of these all set up. So if they've got them all set up in the main office, it would be an interesting post to see. But yeah, going back, since we love to build things, hey, I do too, we decided to create our own modular work environment. Field Desk acknowledges our evolving workspaces and everything that comes with them. And I think that's really important with any sort of furniture. All this is easily able to get out the door, and I can change up this space as the way I need it. I've done a few different variations. Last year, Pro saw I had a big shelf there. So being able to have furniture that evolves with you and grows with you, this is all set up for that. It's interesting to see how they've approached it. So yeah, if we scroll down a bit more, they give us a really nice close-up of their field rail system. So branding, all that, but really shows off how this is designed, because typical field rail is like that, but what they've done is sort of shifted on the 45. So it allows you to create clamps and that to clamp on the side, because with traditional one, if you wanted to put in the end there, to T-butt it, you would have to drill a hole through it and then screw it in. So it looks like they've tried to create a system where you didn't need to drill and screw on that. It's all modular and you can connect whatever you want to it. So I'm interested to know how rigid it is. So let's go on. The field rail. Field Desk is a part of our field rail system. So yeah, I do see a few other products around this range pop out. It's an open-ended range of interconnecting aluminium rails that enable the creation of customizable modular furniture and accessories, made with 75% recycled cylindrical aluminium from a Scandinavian manufacturer, Hydro. So definitely recycled. It's always good in my books, but they give a few of the profiles of what's going on here. So I do see like how it's all slotted in and that they've tried to design it so it leaves little room for error to have things go out of whack. But I'm still trying to figure out how the actual system clamps together, because it looks like grub screws are here, and then what you can do is tighten it and it'll expand out inside the extrusion pieces themselves. Like with this sort of X-rail, you have like a bolt that comes on the outside, then pulls the whole part together. You get a really nice strong bond. But yeah, how this is all connected, I can definitely see it having a strong bond. But there are a few bits where I'm like, oh, I would like a bit more information about that. So this is all their cross railing and reinforcement, and then you got like an X bracket. So it can definitely be like a full Lego sort of setup, and you can create whatever desk you want. Also, here's the board that comes with the desk. So 1155 by 77. So on my one, I've got 1800 by 400. I like thinner desks that I can keep against the wall, give me more room in the center of the space, but I can take up the real estate along the walls, and like these sort of tables I can build up however I want. So quite easy to put together as well, and they are really rigid, and that's something I'm really interested about this table here, because where they've got their minimalistic design, like this 20 by 20, like I can't bend it like that, but when you get a quite long length, it is quite, you can get a bit of flex going on in the part. And if I can just find a, like if we look at this table here, like we've got the nice strong X bracket in the base, I'm interested to know how much these can get torqued down. So this is one rigid structure and holds it in place. We've got the diagonals coming on the front and sides, but then right, this front part here is open. So what I've seen, like when I design my desk, is I put the triangles at the front, so it stops like the whole thing torquing that way, and it's like that actually moved the desk. There we go. But yeah, so it'll torque like that. Now I'm wondering with this desk, because there's no like triangular forms here to hold the desk solid, or how solid these pins hold this rail system on, like can the desk torque like that. So that's how I just like my things. I do like a rigid desk. I don't need any Mr. Wobbles going on, but how they've set up the desk, and there's no video showing it, so wait until I see any of that before I make a comment. But we'll just move on. So got all the rail clamps, got the core clamps, got the board. What's in the box? Field Desk is an easy to assemble and disassemble arriving flat pack for you to build in place. So yep, I'm guessing some sort of IKEA, and they've shown all the pieces that we get. And we do get the screws and keys to put it together. So yeah, definitely hope they would be included, especially here in Australia. Everything rocks up and you just can't put it together. That'd be great. And they do give us a bit of a assembly guide as well. And yes, those thinner rails I could definitely see flexing. So I can see that it can hold 75 kilos, which yeah, I think that's enough. Like that's definitely doable. My test for my desk is I'll jump up and down on them. So yeah, that's probably a bit much, but yeah, it's whatever we need. But yeah, they go through and show us how to connect it all and show, like make sure everything's 90 degrees. And yeah, this connector here, I'm wondering if this actually remains rigid when you clamp it down, or if it's its own thing. So yep, there's some nice assembly instructions. Definitely hope it comes with the screws. And custom made, we offer a custom interior for your workspace. A minimum form factor for field rail system makes it adaptable to a variety of professional environments, making it to move when you need to configure your space. Please contact us for a request and let us design helps you. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there's some sort of like Lego put together system where you can design a space that you want to work with, and then you can pick out the rails and then they'll cut the tabletops to fit what you need. So interested? Alright, scroll down a bit more. Field Desk is made to adapt to a dynamic work environment. Attached to the custom storage tray and tape holder coming soon, or latch onto your own creation using M5 screws. So yeah, these holes might be threaded. It doesn't really, it just looks like a chamfer there, but if that's the case, then you could probably see a lot of 3D printing stuff happen there. Tape holder, I'm interested to know what that is. Like, why do we need rolls of tape hanging off our table? But there's definitely a pin system to hold all this together, and then hopefully it, like when you screw it in, it all tightens down on itself. All right, if we scroll down a bit more, specifications. So here we go. So we've got the freedom units, we've got millimeters, and yeah, so it's quite a sizable desk, as I did say before. Mine's a little bit longer and narrower. Theirs is shorter and wider, whatever you take your pick. Max load 75 kilos, so you got to weigh all that up. So enough about Teenage Engineering's desk. What's mine got to offer? And really, I will say, I didn't come up with the idea originally. Like, if you know woodworking circles and know about this book, might cause a little bit of trouble with what this video is probably going to do. But it is a trestle table design. So you have these sort of A-frame stands that a wood plank sits on. It's quite an old design, but I had the book and I thought that would be a really cool desk design to build. It looked quite easy, and it ended up being my synthesizer table. So pretty much what happened was I wanted to build a new table for this space, and we went to Bunnings. So Bunnings is sort of like a Home Depot down here in Australia, and usually one in every town, but I got some construction pine. They cost $3 a length, and they're usually about a meter long, so they had a big box full of them. So I think I got about 8 lengths to do all the joinery down underneath. And yeah, this wooden top I had from a previous project, but we get these like spec right panels that just have different random wood. I'm pretty sure this is the Tasmanian oak one, but don't quote me, I bought it a while ago. So in the end, I think I probably spent like $60 putting that together. And it's got a few nails in there just to hold this top on here, because with wood swelling, the tabletop will expand and shrink. So plywood doesn't do that, but just factoring that in, when I decide to move, I can just knock this bench top off, and I've just got 2 little A-frames with this tabletop. It's pretty light, got everything set up, and yeah, it's done really well. And that big thing is like when we like rest our hands on the synthesizers and then that movement that way, this one doesn't move because the A-frame acts like a triangle. It stabilizes that lateral movement, and yeah, it's pretty there. It's not going to move, and yeah, it's not going to wobble when I work on it. And yeah, then we can go to the store and figure out how much this thing's going to cost. Yeah, well, yeah, okay. All right, let's see what nice beach tags. Holy. All right, so 1700 USD. Right, that is excessive. But I do live in sunny Australia where we have a lovely, nice beach tack. So let's figure out how much this is going to cost. That's my graphics card. So if you want to buy this a lovely table here, you can definitely give me that amount for my table. Yeah, no. So that's almost $2,500 in here, Australia. And I think really what comes down to it is, what do you find brings you the most value? Like, there are a few things with Teenage Engineering, like I do like their Pocket Opera series. I do want to give an OP1 a shot at some point in time, but I think you got to level up and figure out what is going to bring you the most value, because I can build my own desks. I'm definitely going to go down that route, but there could be something that you're really looking for that modularity. So you need to put it up there. But if you want to help support me towards getting a better graphics card so I can improve on my graphics, not having to rely on cycles and get some weird glitchy stuff because I couldn't test things before pushing out to prod, thank you so much. I hope you found this one entertaining. And in the end, which table is better, the Teenage Engineering one or my table here? Well, I got to go to Bunnings and I got a Bunnings snag, so there's an obvious winner here. So catch you around.
Bunnings sausage.